break here and it's slotted away by Mikael Damsgaard.
This is how Burnley disrupted Brentford's build-up. Burnley do not immediately press when Brentford begin their build-up and attempt to progress forward. Instead, they delay their pressure until their defensive block is fully established. Once organized, Burnley settle into a 3-4-3 mid-block structure. However, when Brentford recycle possession with a backward pass in the mid-third, Burnley use that as a pressing trigger, jumping forward and transitioning into a ball-side, man-oriented press. In response to Burnley's press, Brentford looked to use their typical strategy: attract pressure, then exploit the space in behind with a direct long ball. In this sequence, the opposition form a mid-block, but it is not particularly compact. There is a visible vertical gap between the defensive line and midfield. To begin, Brentford circulate possession backward through a series of passes, eventually returning the ball to the goalkeeper in order to draw the opponent forward. The opposition's first line of pressure steps out slightly, but they do not commit aggressively or push too deep. Looking to progress, the goalkeeper plays to the left centre-back. As per their defensive principles, the opposition do not immediately press the advancing defender. To create numerical superiority and increase passing options, one midfielder drops deeper. The defender carries the ball forward slightly, but again, no strong pressure is applied. Rather than forcing the play, the defender finds the dropping midfielder. Although the execution is not perfect, Brentford succeed in drawing 6 opposition players forward. Despite the limited space in behind, Brentford attempt a long ball to bypass the pressing line. The attacker makes an aggressive run, but with the defensive line positioned deep and the distance between the back line and goalkeeper compressed, there is insufficient space to collect the pass. The long ball fails. As a result, Brentford adjust their approach. With Burnley maintaining a deeper defensive line, persisting with long balls becomes ineffective. Instead, they shift their focus to exploiting the vertical spaces within the opponent's block. In the next sequence, the possessor is in a numerically inferior situation and avoids forcing a pass into the mid-block. As before, Brentford recycle possession backward to draw the opposition out. The pressing line steps forward slightly, just as intended. Rather than forcing a vertical pass, the goalkeeper initiates a flank switch, playing to the nearby defender. The ball is then circulated across to the right back, shifting the opposition block toward the ball side. The right back plays forward into Donovan, who is dropped to receive. Because Burnley have lowered their defensive line to deal with potential long balls, pressing higher up the pitch naturally creates space above the halfway line. Recognizing this, Donovan drives inside from the right flank, carrying the ball toward the central channel. This action successfully attracts 7 outfield players, excluding the back 3, toward the right side. With the block heavily shifted, Donovan then delivers a long pass toward the now free left flank, inviting exploitation of the weak side space. Within the attacking phase after build-up, the key was to increase the tempo and exploit the wide vertical spaces. The attack, initiated from the build-up phase, progresses through a defender stepping high into advanced areas. As the opposition attempt to form their block, the expanded vertical space once again creates room for a midfielder. Recognizing this gap, the defender plays directly into that space. The separation between the second line and the third line opens another pocket of space, allowing the midfielder to drive forward once more. After attracting 3 defenders, he switches the ball to the now open left flank. The receiving player finds himself in free space and delivers a cross without significant pressure. Inside the box, 2 attackers move into the central area unmarked, a clear example of the Thiago Effect. Because of Thiago's strong scoring threat, 3 defenders collapse toward him, leaving others free. As a result, 2 players remain unmarked in the central zone. Damsgaard meets the dropping cross and finishes calmly to complete the move.
It will break here and it's slotted away by Mikel.
A low defensive line can't stop everything. In transition, the space in behind still appeared, and Thiago took over. This sequence begins with Brentford winning the aerial duel from the opponent's long kick. With the opposition unable to immediately form their defensive block, space opens up in midfield. The defender reacts quickly, heading the ball into that central pocket. The possessor wastes no time, instantly finding another attacker positioned higher up and free. Because the opposition have not yet recovered, 6 players remain caught high up the pitch. The space in behind is exposed. Recognizing the opportunity, the possessor delivers a quick through pass between the lines toward Thiago, who is already accelerating into the space. Despite defenders chasing him down, Thiago's dynamic superiority proves decisive. He powers through and finishes calmly, completing the move. Set pieces are a major weapon for Brentford. Let's break down the corner routine they converted in this game. This sequence begins with an in-swinging corner. Initially, 5 Brentford players are positioned together at the far post area. Another player stands centrally in front of goal, engaged with a defender. That is the basic structure. Now the routine begins. As the kicker prepares to deliver the ball, the cluster at the far post starts to disperse. The first to move is Thiago. He makes an aggressive run toward the near post, acting as a key decoy and drawing multiple defenders with him. Meanwhile, the centrally positioned player performs a crucial blocking role, not only engaging his marker, but also obstructing the goalkeeper's movement. Another attacker then attacks the middle of the 6-yard box, further disrupting the defensive structure and dividing attention. Additionally, another attacker makes a run toward the goalkeeper, blocking a defender's movement and preventing him from marking Damsgaard. With the defenders manipulated and pulled out of position, the delivery is sent toward the original far post zone. At that moment, Damsgaard, the target of the routine, is left free. As a result of this coordinated movement and pre-planned execution, Damsgaard converts the header. That is Brentford's set-piece quality.
Brentford into the lead. Well, there can't be many smaller in the penalty area.